Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. So no matter how many years I grow cut flowers, I swear that I always have that sinking feeling in late June where the flowers are growing but they're not quite growing as fast as I'd like them to. And I keep questioning, did I do something wrong? Did I plant my seedlings too late? Should I have started my seeds much sooner? Are we gonna even have flowers this summer? And I know that I'm not alone. If you ever grow and cut flowers, especially annuals, you probably know what I'm talking about. But every year, like clockwork, once July hits and once we get to at least mid-July, it's amazing the transformation that happens in the garden. Now, last month I shared with you a June garden tour, and I thought it'd be fun this month if I show you how much of a difference just a few weeks can make. So in this video, I'm going to give you a full garden tour and show you what's blooming right now. This is probably one of my favorite parts of this season, where the garden is just cranking out some really beautiful blooms. And it is so fun just to be able to enjoy it during the summer nights. So if you're ready to see how the garden is progressing, let's go. Okay, I think in order for you to fully appreciate this transformation I'm going to show you, I think you have to see what this garden looked like just a few weeks ago. So here's the same garden I'm going to show you, but this was back in June. As you can see, the plants have transplanted well. They've definitely put on some growth, but they are small and nowhere near producing flowers. And here's the exact same garden just 4 short weeks later. All the plants have put on some tremendous growth. They are flowering in abundance, and it's truly hard to believe that I ever questioned whether or not we'd have flowers. The plants have gotten so big, in fact, that you can see that we've put up supports using both floral netting and baler twine to corral our plants. Now, if you'd like more information on how exactly we did that, go back and watch last week's video where I walk you through our process of installing supports for our plants. Back in this corner of the garden is our dahlia patch. Dahlias really reach their prime in late August and September, so we'll definitely revisit this spot in a later video, but for now the plants are filling out nicely and they're looking quite healthy. Now the 2 rows to my left here, they are still small, and that's because they're a later succession of flowers that I planted. In these rows you'll find much of the same of what I already have planted. There's zinnias and celosia, plenty of basil, and some grasses like cress and millet. The goal with this succession is to extend my harvest of flowers, ensuring that I have blooms right up until our first frost, which for us happens in mid-October. As we approach this front section of the garden, you can see that I've ripped out some of our beds. I've even laid some fabric over beds that are not in use to minimize the weed pressure. This is what I call our spring garden. It's where I plant much of our hardy annuals, things that I plant either in the fall to overwinter or I plant in the very early spring. These flowers are starting to fade and they have slowed down with their blooms, and so over the next few weeks I'll work to prepare this bed for another fall planting. Last but not least, I have to show you this bed of Lizzieanthus that will be blooming here shortly. Now, I always have a love-hate relationship with Lizzieanthus. They are beautiful and have almost rose-like blooms. Their ruffled petals make them look fragile, but they have an incredibly long vase life. The only downside is that these flowers are incredibly slow growing, taking almost 5 months to mature. I always say that I'm not going to grow them next year. Then they start to flower, and well, I just can't resist having a bed of them tucked in my garden somewhere. Well, there you guys have it, a full garden tour of what's blooming here in July. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, can you please do me a favor, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button below. Thank you so much for tuning in, and as always, I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye guys.